Hi guys, today I'm here with a review for the Chi palettes that I picked up at Target on Monday for the nudes and the bases. So let's get straight on into it. So these guys are $23 each at Target. You can get them, I think, at Chi online as well. Sometimes they do the double packs and they will come for $30 in total. And that is my recommendation. When you are going to buy them when they are equivalent of $15 each. Maybe I'm just a little bit stuck in my ways and lucky because the shadows that I do use are Too Faced, Urban Decay and my Makeup Geek shadows mainly, and they are really fantastic. As a lot of people know, they blend wonderfully. There's not too much fallout and the pigmentation is fantastic. Unfortunately, with these Chi shadows, I cannot say the same. They are not naked dupes. A lot of people will call them naked dupes, and they are not Urban Decay naked dupes. They are not even a third of an Urban Decay naked dupe in my opinion. They are too powdery and they do not give very much colour payoff, unfortunately. I feel that I had to constantly go in to build up that colour, and unfortunately it just made my eyes look very powdery, which is quite a shame because when you're over 30 you do not want your eyes to be powdery and shimmery as well, which was another thing because there was way too many satins in there. That stuff is just going to draw attention to the lines which we are trying to hide. And as I said, in the bases there are way too many satins, unfortunately. Bases for me are what I would want to use for creasing. Bases are what I would want to use to put in my crease and for blending, and I do not want satin shadows for that. Especially for bases, you would hope that there would be a bit more mattes, which is a bit disappointing. I'm fairly certain I only counted 4 in there. With the nudes, the colours are lovely, don't get me wrong, but unfortunately, unless if they are dark, you're not going to get very much colour payoff. These are very powdery and as I said, you don't get very much colour. I will insert some swatches in the video so that way you can see. Please keep in mind that when I did do these swatches, I did have to go in with a really hard press to get that colour on my finger, to get it on my arm, and I will insert a picture so that way you can see how much fallout there was. So unfortunately you don't get as much colour payoff as of what you would with some of your higher end stuff. When you put your brush in, unfortunately, for me, way too much powder came out, and I hate that because that to me is wastage, and you don't get that with the Urban Decay shadows. I know Urban Decay is $80 for a palette, unfortunately, but I would rather save up. Or there are other better drugstore eyeshadows that you can get, or save up and buy some other shadows online. As I said, I love my Makeup Geek shadows and I do highly recommend them, especially the bases and the nudes and stuff like that. I'm happy to recommend my favourite ones for you if you want to know, so you can try them out. I think they work out at about $7, maybe $7.50 Australian, and I've had mine for ages. I'm starting to hit pan in one of them. It's a little bit sad, so I'm going to have to do an order soon, but I do highly recommend them. I will pay that the rose gold in the middle of the nudes is quite lovely. It's not worth the $23 for one shadow for the palette for all of them. These guys were so powdery, as I said, unfortunately, that I did have to go in and unfortunately wipe the makeup off again, and that is why these guys are a con. If you are over 30, save up, get something that is a little bit better, that is going to do you a bit better. Unless if you want to sit there on the weekend and play around, that's fine, but these shadows for me are not something that I would use in the morning on the way to work because I have not got that time, as I said, to sit there and constantly add more colour, add more colour, add more colour, blend it, and then it's going to make it be even more powdery and just bring attention to what we don't want to be. The one redeeming factor that Chi did have was not the palettes, it was the lipstick that I picked up at Target. This is Social Climber and it's what I have on today, and I'm actually really quite liking it. It is not as smooth as the Essence one that I got that was $4.70, but I do like the colour, and the packaging, to be honest, I just loved, so that just kind of pays for itself as well. So yeah, unfortunately these shadows I will probably play around with one more time, and if I do change my mind I will let you know. They do look really lovely in the palette and it's such a shame, but what I probably will do is I will give them to my nieces when I see them in a couple of weeks. They're going to come round and I thought we might do a makeup night, so we'll get these out and we'll play with them. And I said, look, it's makeup. Makeup is a really personal thing, and that's a great thing about it, because if you don't like something, you can just wipe it off and start again. And that's why I love trying stuff out, especially when it's not too expensive, so that way we can see what we like. I really wanted to love them. I really wanted to be able to champion an Australian brand and say that they were fantastic and that you should go out and spend your money on them. Hopefully they have other really lovely palettes that do work, but for me, maybe it's because I'm spoiled with the stuff that I already use. Maybe it's because I'm over 30 and my eyes aren't as tight and wonderful and youthful as what these 22-year-olds are that I'm sure they market this stuff to. But unfortunately, these shadows aren't for me, and I recommend just saving up your money and getting something a little bit better. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. I just saw lights get home. I think someone from next door got here. And my windows are open. That is always uncomfortable because I have a loud voice. What do I do? Do I just keep going? Maybe they care about Chi palettes, guys. Maybe they care. And makeup's makeup. You can wipe. Makeup's makeup. Makeup's makeup. Makeup is makeup, guys. Makeup.